my baby left for Florida on the train. I thought I'd get a job just for visiting her. But in Chicago, the broken heart is still
Like with the dessert or the cocktails. Oh, okay.
and the music takes me back to Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
When they ask who you
Yeah,
for
news.
in the corner, crying, I say, a little wine drinker. I say, a little wine drinker.
There you go.
I think there are some that are good, like I like the water, I don't know that
I was tired of my lady. Been together too long. Like a worn-out recording of a favorite
Oh, I have not yet. Here.
So while she lay there sleeping, I read the paper and in the personal columns was this letter I read. If you like pina coladas, getting caught in the rain. If you're not into yoga, if you have half a brain. If you like midnight in the dunes of the rain, then I'm the love that you look for. Right to me and escape. About my lady, I know that sounds kind of mean, but me and my old lady did the same old routine. So I went to the paper, took out a personal ad, and though I'm nobody's poet, I thought it wasn't half bad. Yes, I like pina colada. Getting caught in the rain. I'm not much into health food. I am into champagne. I've got to get you by tomorrow.
Hey, Meg.
And cut through all this red tape. At a bar full of
Hello. Sorry, I'm playing with my lighting.
plan or escape.
How you doing?
So I
Good.
with high hopes.
You ready to
I'm glad
bartend?
it's Friday.
She walked in
It's
the
cold
Yes.
and
I knew
what is in your pocket?
Oh, Aaron's daughter Ella made this for me. She's learning to like do sewing, and so it's like a little pre-made like sewing kit, little zebra.
It's
He's starting a
incredible.
business, animal pocket
Yes.
square business.
Meg, I literally would wear this in my suit jacket, like an
You
animal
could.
pocket square.
It looks really good.
Right?
It
It's
does.
super cute.
She's
I would wear all the
already.
Yeah. Meg, what kind of weird barware did you pile together? Do you have like a colander, like an old shoe? So she was like, barware, shot glass. Okay.
This is my shot glass.
That's my mason jar. I mean,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, I think one of them
have
is.
one
Yeah,
of
I have a
these?
few of them. Yeah. I don't have that.
You
No.
don't have like an atomizer for your bitters?
You know, it must be packed away. Is what
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
packed somewhere. It's packed.
Yeah.
I feel like I should put on my logo too. They have theirs on.
This is Aaron's bar logo, Meg.
Ooh, nice. Cool. No, I preemptively opened my stuff so that I know I
Coming
can.
over?
Yeah.
Come on up. Let me give you a tour of the bar. So, you obviously have your bar set up, right? Items in there. Also have the rocks glasses. All right. In addition to the glasses up there, these are assorted like wine and other. All right. And sample bottles. We give them a big one. Wow. Jeez. We have tequila and mixers. Unbelievable. Okay. Everything. And how do I get the code? That would be just for like mixed drinks or like daily drinks. Drink very excited. This is going to be really fun. I've never been a bartender, so it's a job that never actually pursued. So I can't promise you that my drinks are going to be that good, Greggy.
Stay close to me. Don't let me be alone. It's tearing apart my blue heart. I've got a good woman at home who thinks I do no wrong. But sometimes, Lord, she just ain't always around.
Yeah, we'll set up the volume here so that way we can hear what the
And you know that's when
But you're still frozen, you know that, right?
I can't help
On here, it just looks like the two of us are sitting together. You should see in your pocket.
and I get
You gotta streak out.
play me some songs about a
It's gonna have to be what gotta be that when Greg calls from now on.
old one in my hand.
Did you start your video again?
'Cause you know I love to hear those guitar sounds.
Okay, now it's
Don't you
Now your
play
video.
I'm so
There you are. That way we'll see you and hear.
Cause I get all balled up inside. And I'll get whiskey bent.
Oh, we could probably do that. I can mute mine and turn off.
Yeah.
You're enough of my closing time.
Hey, there we go.
About stoned out of my mind. And I end up with some honky tonk special I found. Just as sure as the morning sun comes, thinking of my sweet girl at home. And I need to get whiskey bent and Play me the song about a rambling man. Put old Jim Beam in my hand. 'Cause you know I still love to get drunk and hear country sounds. But don't play your cheap heart. That'll tear me all apart. I get whiskey bent and hellbound. Your handsome always make me
Very good.
feel
Oh, I like it.
Oh, yeah.
one early morning, as I was walking,
Yeah.
I met a woman, started talking. I took her home to get a few drinks, but all I had was
Yeah.
a empty jewel. One man was the cause of it all.
Oh, everything.
I don't remember just how it started, but all I know is we shot by. I stole a kiss and their mother. I didn't mean to hit her. Oh,
We're not going to bring it up.
was the cause of it all. Oh, thanks for burning all. There in the bottle and through about the father, he's here, I saw you with. You kissed my daughter, got away right now. Oh, face of slaughter, I didn't know just how to do it. I had to marry on this room. I met julep, met julep, I met julep, I met julep. What met julep was the cause of it all.
Hey friends, how is everybody? It's so good to see your faces. Are we waiting on one more, Tracy?
No, I think we've got everybody.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh, Amy and Matt.
The New York.
New York.
No, Amy. Oh, that's right. Where are Amy and Matt?
Okay, we're waiting on Amy.
I'll text them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Erin, I'm just going to state it's being recorded.
For legal purposes, y'all get yourselves together. We got it on tape.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. Smack me in the face. Yeah.
What are we
Can you guys
recording it
turn up?
for?
Turn up the audio.
Well,
Turn up
I
the
send
audio.
it to you after. So if y'all want to make the
Oh, okay.
cocktails at
Oh,
home or
Awesome.
review fun little tidbits
What's that?
about spirits along the way, you'll have it to review.
When we're like, no, I didn't act that crazy. You're like, no, we have a recording. And
That's
here it
exactly
is.
right. You know, we have proof of all of that. No, there's no deniability about any of it. You know, we're good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So I think y'all know me. I'm Jennifer.
Oh, good.
Blaze, you can't shout.
Do you need proof of identification and age?
The little ones.
Blaze, please stop.
Please,
I got
we
it.
need
I'm Jennifer, and this is my business partner, Brent. Say hi, Brent.
Hey, I'm Brent.
Hey, Brent.
Hi.
I'm so glad that we were able to do this tonight. Thank you all so much for being so gracious about the reschedule. That was a terrible stomach virus that lasted for 4 days. It was a nightmare.
Oh.
Thank you. Yeah, I thought it was like, well, maybe I ate something. No, it was 4 days of it. So I'm really glad that I did not see you guys while you were while I was contagious then. So thank you so much. And this is fun too, because now you get to have your smoking kits at your house. So
Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for getting that all up.
Great.
Yes, of course. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Did you all have a good time when you were at Stonecoat? Was it a good trip?
So great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
really was.
amazing.
Isn't that space magical? It's so good. Okay. All right. So we're going to start off with a cocktail tonight. We're going to start off with the lion's tail. Okay. So that's going to be your bourbon cocktail. We're going to build the cocktail together and then we'll talk about some stuff going on with it because nobody wants to talk about a cocktail without drinking a cocktail. So I'm going to be sending recipes to you in the chat tonight. If you have any questions, any comments, we love for you to interact with us. So please, please, please ask questions as we go. Here comes the recipe to you. Brent, you want to talk to us about a lion's tail?
Yeah, you bet. So this is a form of a whiskey sour. It's basically a whiskey sour with our 7 syrup, which gives it a nice spice character. The lion's tail is a classic cocktail. It's usually made with an allspice dram or canino dram, which is allspice is one of the flavors, one of the 7 flavors in our 7 spice syrup. So we're going to start with 1.5 ounces of bourbon. Today I am using one of my favorite bourbons, which is Buffalo Trace. You don't need to use the super high-end bourbon in this because there's so much going on in the cocktail. Even your Jim Beam or whatever your bourbon is good enough for this cocktail.
So the bourbon that I sent to you guys is Elijah Craig, and I was running a teeny tiny bit short, so I topped it off with a little Old Granddad 114. You're welcome. So that's what you guys have in your bottle.
It smells amazing.
It smells like vanilla, doesn't it? And
It does.
caramel,
It
yes.
smells very sweet, but I'm on board.
Our next ingredient is the 7 syrup, which has the beautiful copper label.
You asked the question, do we need to double the batch?
Yes,
Each of us are making-
this recipe is for 1 cocktail. So if you have
Okay,
2 of you
we're
sitting there, you
doubling
need to
it.
double the recipe.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't like to share, so. Our 7 syrup is one of our flagship syrups. It has 7 different spices and 3 different sugars. I'll try to name the spices. I always forget one. There's cinnamon, cardamom, allspice, cloves, nutmeg, ginger, and star anise. I got them all. And so those are all together, and we put that together with 3 sugars. We use organic cane sugar, brown sugar.
Yeah, I did.
Hey, Greg, will you
And then,
mute your
a
mic
South
for me,
American sugar
please?
called
We're
Kilo
picking up Aaron in the background. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Go ahead, Brent.
Piloncillo is a super rustic sugar from South America. They literally just crush the cane sugar collected juices, pour that into a cone-shaped mold, and let the water evaporate out. So you get a ton of character, lots of molasses, a little bit of grassy flavor, a lot of the plummy, dark, dried fruit flavors that really helps round out the syrup. So we're going to do 3/4 ounce of that. Right into the bottom of the shaker. And we're going to do 3/4 ounce of fresh squeezed lemon juice. And then a couple dashes of aromatic bitters. This is going to emphasize those warm baking spice flavors and also provide a little bitter base note to help give structure to the cocktail. So a couple shakes of that.
An egg white is optional on this cocktail. And guys, if you wanted to do, my favorite way to use egg whites in cocktails is powdered egg white. So anytime that you would like to do that, what's gonna happen is it's gonna round out the anything that's harsh, anything that's got a sharp edge on it. It's going to just round those out. So hang on one second, I've got to.
Can I ask you a question?
Please
For
do.
the egg white, are we dry shaking it? So should we mix ice in it first so we get the cocktail nice and cold, or what do you recommend?
You can either dry shake it by starting with that, or you can chill your cocktail and then add it at the end. Typically, if we're going to dry shake, we do it at the beginning.
I personally prefer to do, it's called a reverse dry shake. which is you put everything in, shake it up, strain the cocktail, put it back in the shaker and shake it again. And then that gives you that nice mousse on top. I really hate doing a dry shake because one of the reasons why you shake with ice is that it sucks the shaker tins together. And every time I shake with an egg white, when I do a dry shake, the shakers actually, it builds up pressure, it blows it apart, and it's like someone has a big sneeze on the side of your face while you're shaking, which is not something that anybody wants to have happen. I'm not using a shaker. You want to put enough ice into your cocktail, into your shaker to about come up to the level of the cocktail in your shaker. You want to have the appropriate amount of ice. If you have too much, it'll chill your cocktail too quickly, and then it won't dilute the cocktail enough. And if you have too little, it's going to melt too quickly. You'll have an over diluted cocktail. So we shake a cocktail for a few reasons. Mix the cocktail, chill the cocktail, dilute the cocktail, and put aeration in the cocktail. So the rule of thumb is you shake anything with citrus, which this cocktail has, or anything that has really thick ingredients like an egg white. So I think Jennifer's probably done shaking. I'm going to go ahead and mute. We usually shake for about 22 seconds. Happy birthday, the length of a nice COVID hand wash.
All right. So I am going to, I'm not sure why, I guess I've got a gallery view. I'm not sure why I'm not pulling up on the screen there. That's okay. All right, I am going to strain into the glass, and then I'm going to add some ice to it after that, so that I don't, so that I know how much ice I need in it. Okay.
I was shaking, so I didn't hear. Did you cover how to break apart your shakers?
Oh, I didn't. No, I didn't. Go ahead, Brent. Sorry about that.
So when you put your shakers together, you want to have a straight line down one side, then you'll have a little gap on the other side. When you go to break it apart, you just want to smack the heel of your hand sort of on the area where there's about a 1/4 inch, and it pops the pop right off. You break the seal, and you can get them apart, no problem. I'm going to do mine up. Beautiful vintage coupe glass.
Okay, you're doing yours up. I'm going to do mine on the rocks because, okay, so we have a couple of, so there are a couple things that we do when we are doing glassware here. If you've got several, y'all are experts in cocktails, you know this. So you can have it up, which is chilled and strained into a glass with no ice. You can have it on the rocks, which is shaken or stirred on and chilled and then strained onto fresh ice. Or you can have anytime we have a cocktail that's called neat, that's not a cocktail, it's literally just spirit that's on the shelf and poured into a glass. That's neat. Look how pretty those cocktails are. Y'all did good. Look at that. I love it. Erin is a professional.
An Amarino cherry on a nice stainless pick. I have it in my up glass.
Yes.
Even without the egg white, I get a nice frothy head on the cocktail.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, cheers, y'all. How we doing? Have you had a taste of it yet?
Not yet.
Not yet.
We're-
Megan,
we're-
how's
we're
yours?
Patiently waiting for our bartenders over there.
I like that.
Amy, how about you? How'd you do?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good?
So this cocktail I think is a type of
Smells
sour. And a sour is a classic. Probably the oldest cocktail is considered to be the old fashioned, which we'll make at the end of this class. Shortly thereafter, sours became popular. And you can trace the history of the sour back to the maritime history of spirits and cocktails. Actually, spirits used to be part of the daily ration for sailors, and they would add water and lemon or lime citrus juice to prevent scurvy. The alcohol helped purify the water. So, this is medicinal, and it's a health drink, original health drink. But that was a part of the rations on the British ships. So that's where the sour traces its history, and it's delicious.
It is delicious. And there are lots and lots of varieties of sours. A margarita is a traditional sour. Anything that is Anything we did just call it a health drink. You're welcome.
It is.
Welcome to January of 22. That's where we are right now. Yes. And so also when we were talking earlier about doing this up, if you have this up with no ice in a coupe glass, when we drink out of stemware, specifically coupe glasses, that cocktail is meant to be drunk quickly before it gets warm, and you are meant to hold it by the stem so that you don't warm the cocktail in with your hands on the glass there. So anytime you want to slow down and finish the race and not win the race, doing it on the rocks is a great way to do that because it'll dilute the drink as you go. You go a little slower with it. Pro tip, hashtag pro tip. So yeah, that looks great. I like your coupe glasses there, Aaron. Those are great. Excellent. All right. So you guys, did you all see which distilleries did you see while you were here? You did Castle and Key.
Yeah, Aaron, tell her.
We did Buffalo Trace. We toured Barton 1792. We went to Bardstown Bourbon Company, Lux Row. We did
Woodford Reserve.
Woodford Reserve. And then we stopped in at the Willett Distillery, and a number of other places too.
You and I did.
Oh, and then we went to Jephthah Creed and did a barrel tasting.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jephthah did you like Jephthah? That's a fun tour there.
We like the experience, not the bourbon. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
It's different than the other ones though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a really cool experience. And we did the thief and tasted it out of the barrel and sat there in those cozy chairs. I like that experience.
Yeah. Their bourbon needs a little work for sure. Did y'all bring home a bunch of bottles?
Oh yeah.
No.
No. Hey, John and Tracy, did you guys get some bottles? John and Tracy, did you guys do some?
John and Tracy, you're muted.
Yes.
No, there.
Yes, we did.
There you go.
We took way too many.
And we owe Greg and Daniel.
Yep, for shipping them back. Way too
Yeah,
many.
so John and Tracy got a bunch, and we shipped it to him. And Aaron has a super secret formula that he's figured out of packing them with movie candy. So they make it.
No, paper clip.
Yeah.
That is
So John and Tracy
amazing.
got boxes and boxes of Mike and Ike's. Yes, the noisiest candy we could find.
So funny. So that they don't hear the liquid in it. Is that right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That may or may not be the reason. And
That's
I
hysterical.
cannot confirm that we did this. Yeah.
I love that. Talk about a pro tip. All right, I'm gonna take a page from that. Next time we ship, we do some shipping. Well, of expensive olive oils. That's what we ship from Kentucky.
Right.
So
Yeah. Actually, I got a bottle today. I got a bottle shipped today from someone in Oregon, and on the front it said fine olive oils and vinegar, and that's what it said.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what you got to do.
That's
Okay,
brilliant.
so, let me
Yeah.
ask you about this 7 syrup.
Yes.
Is this a proprietary formula? Is this like sold or you can make it?
It is. We sell it. All of our syrups are original syrups. Brent and I both have a long history in the hospitality industry. I had a catering company for years and years, and then owned an event company. And then Brent and I moved in to do Make and Muddle together. He and I are college buddies. He's in Chicago, and I'm here in Louisville. And Brent has had a long history in the hospitality industry as well. So we both have real strong culinary backgrounds. And when we started the company, my business coach was like, I need you to pick a lane. And we were like, I think we're going to pick the product lane. That's what we like to do. So we now have about 9 different mixers on our lineup and 2 different cocktail rims that we do. And we're having a lot of fun doing it. We have to pump our brakes constantly because we're like, we could release 4 syrups a year, couldn't we? And so we're trying to figure out the rotation and what the seasonal thing looks like, and which one of us is Make and which one of us is Muddle. Well, I'll leave that up to y'all. It depends on the night and how many cocktails you've had.
Great syrup.
Great syrup.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It was
Yeah.
designed
It's
to
like the mimosa you gave us.
Yes, the sweater weather. Yes, that was in it. Absolutely. It was designed to make the best damn old fashioned you've ever had in your life. So that's do that after we're done with this class. And please let us know if you need any more. Our website, www.makeandmuddle.com, has all of our products on it. We ship worldwide. And we'll send them right to you. So let us know what you need if you run out of anything.
Awesome. Yeah, because that really makes the drink. Because I was looking at it, I was like, what is it? Like, it's got this very distinct flavor. It's delicious.
All right, who's had beaver bourbon? That's what Erin's showing right now.
Oh my God.
Drink from New Hampshire.
Yeah, you haven't had that one.
It's made
Have you
from
guys
beaver.
never had whiskey with the excretions of a beaver castor gland?
No,
Right.
not sober. I haven't. What?
You wouldn't want it drunk either.
Yeah.
It's the equivalent of the worm at the bottom of the
Oh,
bottle.
good Lord. Oh, go with God, Erin. That's hardcore.
Yeah, and if you're not sure what anybody's talking about, please Google castor gland on a work computer.
That's a trap, Greg. I've known you long enough. I know that's a trap.
What could possibly go wrong? All right, that's awesome. All right, we're going to move on to the next cocktail. The next cocktail is our one of our favorite tiki cocktails. It uses our 2-pepper agave syrup, and this is our syrup that we designed. That is our sugar alternative. It is 100% agave with fresh serranos and black pepper and coriander and bitter orange peel in it. It was designed. Please don't drop that child. We will have it on video. Please don't drop that child. So this makes a killer spicy margarita, but it also makes my personal favorite tiki drink that we do, which is the Mondo Trasho. Brent, why don't you talk a little bit about tiki while I put this recipe in the chat?
So tiki is there's a lot of back and forth on what it means to be tiki. I think it basically means that it's a complex drink, frequently centered around rum and different types of rum. Usually it contains multiple different types of alcohol. There are a lot of fresh juices, fresh lemon, lime, pineapple, and it's really kind of a pain in the ass. It came about right after World War II, after all the forces went across into the Pacific and South Pacific and experienced all these delicious rums and tropical flavors.
Did you freeze?
And then came home and they wanted to get shit canned in a delicious way. So they created this tiki culture. There is a pretty, it's almost printworthy cultural appropriation element to tiki. The typical cup that you see that has the big smiley face, those are actually totems of the Pacific Islands, and it is like a pan Pacific style. But those are like religious totems, and they represent the cultural or the ancestors of the folks that live in this island. So I always draw a parallel between, imagine having, if you're Catholic, if someone pulls out, they're drinking a cocktail out of a nice, beautiful pietà with Mary holding a dead Jesus, which, I mean, I personally don't have a problem with, but I know that my mother would. So there is a little bit of cultural appropriation that we want to be aware of. I tend to go away from those types of things, and the tiki glass I'm using this evening is Boba Fett. So I have no problem appropriating Star Wars to get drunk with. So
tonight, this cocktail is a rum-based cocktail, and I combine, because there's 3/4 of an ounce of coconut rum and dark rum each, I combined those into one bottle. So you should use 1.5 ounces of your rum mixture per cocktail. Okay. There's 3/4 of an ounce of coconut rum, 3/4 of an ounce of dark, but all of that's in one bottle. Okay. These are both Cruzan rums, and I'm a big fan. Rum is truly one of my very favorite spirits. Cruzan is distilled in St. Croix in the Caribbean, and it's a fantastic rum, especially for the price point. rums are distilled from molasses or sugar cane juice, and they can be distilled all over the world. Not only does the Caribbean have fantastic rums, but also Africa has fantastic rums, and the Philippines, and Taiwan, and on and on and on. What are you
I'm
drinking,
actually
Brent?
using a rum from India. So it was $19.99, $20 rum, and it's very vanilla forward and delicious.
It's great. So I would recommend, and also they have such different flavor profiles depending on where they're from. Talk about some terroir there. So I would recommend, if you're into rums, that you pick up a good bottle of dark rum from different places, especially if you have a good liquor store that has a nice selection of them, and really explore a little bit. Like El Dorado rum is one of my favorite rums. Hamilton is one of our favorite rums. There are so many, and they're from all over the world. Okay, so go ahead, Brent.
So this cocktail, I literally created because I hate coconut rum. I hate Malibu, and I wanted to make a cocktail where I could actually be proud of serving Malibu to someone. And it's this cocktail. Quickly becomes my favorite. This cocktail batches beautifully. Usually just about May 1st, I make a big batch of it and keep it in my fridge. And keep it freshened up until about the middle of June, when I've drank so much of it, I'm sick of it and I move on to something else. But this cocktail tastes like summer in a glass to me. It's like what you want from a pina colada without all the cloying and thickness that pina coladas have. So 3/4 of an ounce of coconut rum, 3/4 of an ounce of dark rum, and then it is, I do believe it's an ounce. I have to look at the cocktail.
Ounce and a half of pineapple. So here's the deal, y'all. It was like scorched earth for pineapple in Louisville when I was shipping these out. So I did find that Dole was doing this half pineapple juice, half coconut water, and it's delicious. So it really lightens this cocktail up, and it doesn't make it too sweet at all, which we love. All right, and then the last ingredient is a half ounce of lime.
It with the 2-pepper agave, I didn't get to.
Oh, sorry, half ounce of 2-pepper agave as well.
Half ounce of 2-pepper agave.
Go ahead. Do you shake it with ice in your shaker, or
yes,
shake it and then pour it over ice? Okay.
Shake it with ice and then pour it over ice. And you can dirty shake it. Go ahead, Brent. Sorry.
I was gonna say you can do what's called dirty dumping, which you just shake and then dump it right into your glass. Don't tell anyone. I do that when I really slam behind the bar. There are cocktail snobs that say that you shouldn't do that because the ice that you shake with has warmed up and it's gonna melt faster than fresh ice. I think there might be some truth to that, but I think when you're super busy, nobody's sipping a cocktail. It's usually people drinking cocktails pretty quickly, and so the difference is negligible. One thing about pineapple juice that's really cool and I love is that it creates a really beautiful foamy head. It's almost like you have an egg white in it without putting an egg in it. So you get a really nice texture. You get that really beautiful foam. And I have lime juice left to add to my cocktail. I also actually, normally I would not rim a tiki glass like this. I'm going to go ahead and rim this just to give you an idea of how to rim it. So when I rim, I take a lemon or lime slice. There's a little slit in the middle there, so it goes over the edge of your glass. I twist it around, and then tonight I'm going to use tajin, which is a sal limon, which is super popular in Mexico to put on vegetables, fruits, like pineapple, watermelon, cucumbers. Has a little spice, has a little tartness, has a little salt, and it really just brings out all those delicious flavors that you'll get from your pineapple juice. So I put just a little bit on there so I can taste it when I go into drink. I'm going to shut off and shake here.
So what do you think, right? This tiki, it'll get you right. This thing also makes the most delicious slush ever. And
oh my God, that's a great idea.
If you made it with this if you did half, instead of an ounce, a half of pineapple juice, if you either used this that we're using tonight or 3/4 of an ounce, 3/4. Okay, anything we do, you can batch. An ounce is a part. Okay, so it could be 3/4 of a cup, 3/4 of a gallon, 3/4 of whatever. All right, whatever your measurement unit is. So we do what?
Aaron said find your least common denominator. So like if you're like doing it by the Rubbermaid bucket,
That's
there
exactly
you go.
right. That's exactly right. So this, and then we freeze. It will freeze really well. Okay, and then you just scoop it into your glass or your Yeti or whatever you're doing in the pool or on the boat or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you, you ready for this? Top it with pineapple high noon, and you will be so happy you can hardly stand it. You're
What
welcome.
is that? Pineapple.
It's a vodka seltzer.
Noon.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not.
This and you top it with high noon or something else.
No, this is
High
just
Noon is the brand.
High Noon is the brand of it's a pineapple vodka seltzer. It's not the malt beverage stuff. It's not a White Claw. It's an actual vodka seltzer. And Brent and I made it our personal mission last summer to find some sort of delicious, ready to drink cocktail in a can. And I'm going to tell you, there are very few of them on the market. High Noon is one of them. And Bombay makes a killer G&T in a can that's wonderful. There it is.
Oh, okay.
High Noon. Meg's got us hooked up.
Yeah, I'm ahead of the game.
Okay.
This is the peach one. I was not a fan of the peach, but I agree the high noons are high quality. If you're looking for, but that was my COVID thing, was like, what cocktail can I get in a can? So I have drank a lot of bad things to find like this. And Cutwater Spirits has some good ones. Their margaritas are good.
They do, yes. Also, Kettle One, theirs are really good too. They have a grapefruit and rose that's really amazing, and a cucumber mint that's really good. So yeah, those are they're very few though. There are so many drain pours this summer. So crack a can and taste it, be like, that is absolute trash. Amy, yeah, I know, you're welcome for that G&T in a can. They sell them in a regular and they sell them in a light, and I would recommend half and half. The regular's a little too sweet, and the light doesn't quite have enough. So they're really good though, especially with just a wedge of lime in them, and they're great for taking on the boat and that kind of thing. So these Mondo Trashos have made it into the cooler on more than one occasion, and they're really good. Honestly, if you do a big Yeti and top it with that. It will get you right from the beginning, and then you just finish out the day on those high noons. It's good stuff.
I will tell you. Hold on. So typically, the tiki drinks are so sweet. They're too sweet, but the pepper syrup, it really, really cuts it. It's really nice.
Good. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
I agree. Both of these cocktails have a nice complexity to them, where you start the first one, it was the warmth of the bourbon, and then you had all the spice, and the same thing here, you get hit with that tart and little bit of sweetness of pineapple, but then you get that hit of spice, and I agree, it makes it a little more tolerable and enjoyable. Definitely.
That's a great way to explain it, Meg.
Good deal. Yeah, pina coladas are only good in theory. You think you want one because of the coconut and the pineapple together, and then you drink it, and it the coating on your tongue, and it makes the back of your jaw hurt. It's so sweet, and it's just you're sick from it. This is what I want a pina colada to taste like and be able to drink for a while. So yeah, Brent and I have always said that our goal is to do the heavy lifting in craft cocktails, so that you can have a really good cocktail with just a very few ingredients that's complex and balanced, but easy. Nobody. Not nobody. Clearly, y'all are some professionals in the room, and we love that. I loved when you all were like, "No, I think we would like some more complicated cocktails." I was like, "Yes, we're gonna do some fun things." So yeah, this is good stuff. Right on. Okay, which one's your favorite so far?
Love them both, but the pineapple. I'm thinking of summer.
It is sunshine in a glass for sure.
Same. It's 10 degrees over here.
Yeah.
I was actually really surprised at how much I enjoyed the bourbon one, because I'm the newbie, but that's your 7 spices syrup is like fantastic. It just warms up thing, and
Thanks.
I really enjoy it. Yeah, but it's
I'm
hard.
glad you all
Both of them are
like it.
so good.
Thanks. Good deal. Okay. Well, Aaron is like telling everybody we're gonna get hammered. You don't have to win the race, Aaron, by the way. You can put that cocktail down and revisit it later. IJS. You know. He's coming to defend himself. I can feel it. All right, here we go. Let's move on to the last one. Brent, you want to talk about tequila a minute before, or you want to let's talk about smoking cocktails and then let's talk about tequila. You're muted. You're muted. Brent.
Are you looking for input as to where we should go next?
No, we're gonna talk about smoking cocktails next. Brent was muted. He's gonna talk about
okay. I thought you.
I just want to point out, I think Jennifer might be using a glass that I stole from a bar that she stole from me.
That is 100% true. You're welcome. Don't leave your good glassware out. It will find its way into my purse. I'm just saying.
So smoking cocktails. So smoking cocktails is something that really was trendy a while ago, sort of fell out of fashion. I think it's coming back. The secret to smoking cocktails is you want to have your glass or whatever you're smoking to be cold and damp. So smoke sticks to cold, damp things. And I just realized that I always forget one thing, and I know what I forgot this time, which is the coaster to go over when I'm smoking. So this cocktail is pretty cool. We're gonna smoke it with some herbs, and I actually am using some herbs that I dried out of my garden. And we're doing this on, do y'all have the cherry smoking coaster?
They do.
Yes. So it's super cool. This, I don't know if we included information on this coaster. So this is from a company that goes around Louisville and collects like significant woods from construction sites or like where they're cutting down trees. So this is cherry, probably on a place that they were developing that had some cherry trees. So they harvested the trees off of the lot before they clear cut the lot. And then they cut it down to size. We cut it down into these coasters. They also do it with like windfall trees, which I think is super cool, that these are harvested from the urban forest as opposed to going out and cutting down a virgin forest somewhere. So that's where the wood comes from. You put your herbs on your coaster sort of in the middle. You want to take your glass. I'm using just a nice double old-fashioned glass. I'm going to put some ice in it to cool it down. If you have water, put some water in there. Water helps spread the cold to the glass or transfer the cold to the glass quicker, and let that chill. So usually I'll let that chill while I'm building the cocktail.
Now you guys should have in your kits, you should have had not only smoking chips in the little baggie, but you should have had a little bit of dried sage in there as well. And we're gonna use the dried sage and the smoking chips both, correct, Brent?
Sure.
Is that right? Yeah, okay.
So chill your glass. I'm going to do this in a mixing glass. So.
Oh, hang on. You need a recipe. Give me one. Sorry, guys. I get it.
Oh, you're good. I do believe it's two ounces of tequila. Today I am using a Reposado tequila from Cazadores. Cazadores I really enjoy Cazadores tequila. It doesn't have the highest reputation. Know that a lot of my friends say it's an old man tequila, but it's delicious. I mean, that's all of the bourbons that are super popular now were old man bourbons before they became trendy. And I really feel Cazadores. This was $20. You're not.
The tequila that you guys were sent is
you're not gonna get a better bang for your buck in the liquor world than
the tequila I sent to you all is El Humidor Reposado. If you would like a better tequila that you have on your bar, feel free to use it.
I think Humidor is a great tequila as well. These are all 100% blue agave tequilas, and that's what you really want to look for in a tequila is 100% blue agave. You want to steer clear of things that are labeled mixto. Those only have to be 51% agave, and then the rest is made up with a neutral grain spirit. And I 100% believe that's where the hangover comes in, because it's a sugar cane spirit or just whatever spirit they use to round out the rest of that mash bill. And I think that's where the hangover comes in. They also can add coloring to that. So that's where you get your Cuervo Gold. It's because they add color to it. It's not because it spends time in a barrel. Whereas an Añejo does spend time in a barrel.
We have a quick question
Yeah, we have an
over here from the very
question.
tall bartender.
My query is, if we're making two at a time, how should we handle the smoking process?
You should do them one at a time.
Yeah,
Okay.
smoke one glass, put a coaster on top, smoke the other glass, put something on top to hold the smoke in the glass.
So, in the wisdom of my favorite 90s rapper, smoke a glass, watch yourself. Smoke a glass, show me what you're working with.
Look,
I think I nailed it.
That's exactly right. Smoke.
This is the content I showed up for.
Yeah, that's licensable, by the way, so you can license that for a small fee. I'll put my email in the chat.
TM.
So we're
And
doing.
now I can't not hear that.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, Greg.
2 ounces of reposado tequila. So reposado means rested. It means that the tequila has been in an oak barrel for, I think it's 3 to 6 months. So you have your Blanco, which is aged sometimes a month, 1 to 3 months. Reposado's the next level. Añejo is the next level. And then the most age that you'll have on a tequila is called Super Añejo. And those were primarily created for the US market, because we tend to prefer dark spirits. We tend to be willing to pay more money for dark spirits than we are for clear spirits. So we have.
Okay, my question is.
Sorry, Brent, we have one more question from the tall, handsome bartender.
That's Daniel. So lemon, lime, or grapefruit bitters, what should we be using?
Whatever you have on hand. I have grapefruit. That's what I'm using. So we're using.
We don't have that.
Our 3 gracious, which has charred grapefruit, charred lime. You can use orange if that's what you have.
I have orange, I have apple, I have ginger.
Orange.
Orange,
yeah.
they
I'd
say.
probably use orange, yeah.
You also don't have to use bitters. If you
It's
don't
only a
have any
couple
citrus
shades.
bitters, don't worry about it. It'll be fine. All right, I'm gonna start smoking here. All right. So first things first, I'm gonna light it with my torch. Make sure it's lit before you put the glass down on it.
Are there instructions
Well,
on how? Oh, there it goes. Okay,
I
got
see.
it.
All right, we're gonna let that sit just like that. And then we're mixing our, you're stirring. And when we stir a
So then the
cocktail, we are just pushing it around with that spoon. It's twisted so that it can move really freely through your fingers. You're pushing the edge of the spoon around the glass. I see lots of smoke. I'm very happy with this. All right, Brent, go ahead. Talk to us about what's next.
Well, we're stirring. We didn't talk about old fashions. Old fashions are the oldest cocktail in existence. So the original recipe of a old fashioned is spirits, bitters, sugar, and water. So it doesn't limit to bourbon, which is what most people think of when they think of an old fashioned is bourbon, unless you're in Wisconsin, and then it's brandy. But it can be any spirit, any bitters, any sugar, and any water. So
Yeah, I'll tell you what makes a really killer old fashioned is barrel aged gin. It makes a fantastic old fashioned. You could do it with our 3 Herb Gracious. Castle and Key here releases an autumn gin every year, and it has all of those beautiful baking spice notes, and it does really well with our 7 syrup. Yeah, pick a good spirit and make an old fashioned out of it. They all
I
work.
think, Erin, that's the one we picked up, right? The gin from Lock and Key.
So good. We're big fans of theirs.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see
Okay.
how this goes.
So,
Aaron, we're unmuted if you have a question.
you want to
Here you
trap
go,
the
Sherry,
smoke in the
try it.
glass? I'm just using a little plate to
Ooh,
trap the
smoky.
smoke.
Woo! 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 That's smoke. Wow.
So your little coaster that you got in there can go on it. You can just lift your glass and slide that on there, and it'll trap all that smoke in there. Yes, I see. It's looking good. Looking good. Okay, now I am going
And
to
with
use.
that glass, yeah, traditionally you use a tulip strainer.
Yes, so that's what we're going to use a julep strainer. So we have 2 different strainers we use tonight. This is the Hawthorne strainer, and it's just a traditional cocktail strainer, right? It's got the little spring around the edge of it. It fits over the top of your cocktail shaker, strains it out. Julep strainer looks like this. It has holes in it. It fits right over the edge of your mixing glass, and you just hold the back of it, right? Okay, so I am going to lift my lid and add some liquid to it. That is dead sexy. I don't care who you are. This is a great cocktail if you have those large ice cubes at your house. Well, that doesn't suck. Okay. This can also be, God, that is really good. Oh, Amy's having a moment. It's good. Yeah. Amy, you're the tequila drinker, right? Look, she's just, no. Meg, are you the tequila drinker? Meg's the tequila drinker.
I could put a margarita down any day. This tequila smelled amazing.
Yeah. This is legit. Like this is really good.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
Other stuff.
Mm. Mhm.
I would
Not
hurt
smoking
myself
is
on these.
It's really like we lost Greg. We lost Gregor. He's a little sneaky.
It's
We
a
lost
little,
Gregor.
it's a little smoky.
He's
Little
sneaking.
smoky.
Little
Little too
smoky.
smoky.
They like smoked a little too
Little smoked.
Little too smoked out.
Hey, John. Gregor over here is sneaking around. He's sneaking.
Yeah.
He's a little sneak.
I'm
He's a
smoked out.
sneaky-
I'm a smoked
Smoked
out.
In his schmucktail.
It
He's
is,
a little sneak.
it is non-splendid.
Eat some goulash. Are you a goulash?
I'm pre-goulash.
Nice knowing you, pre-goulash.
Okay, so
It's
for
a shame
you
y'all
guys who
don't have
don't
any fun
know,
together.
I know, right?
It's a
If you
shame
don't know
that
what the
y'all
hell
don't
we're
like each
talking
other.
about,
Yeah. Mhm.
if you don't know what we're talking about, we want to spread the joy. The current season of Curb Your Enthusiasm, I think it's the second most recent episode. So good. Who's the actor? Bill Hader. So watch it if you
he's
just
good.
want to laugh.
Bill Hader shows up. I have to catch up.
It's so good. He plays 3 vaguely Eastern European people.
No, it's 3 different people.
No, 3 different people.
Vaguely.
No, 3 different people.
Timor,
Hey, don't
Gregor.
spoil it. We gotta
Yeah,
watch it. We
yeah.
might
So
watch
please,
it
please
tonight.
watch it. It's definitely
I will.
laugh worthy.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's good stuff. That is good stuff.
Not style.
Need to
Okay.
Can we use the block again, or is it a one and done?
Oh no, you
Okay,
use it
okay.
and use it and use it, and experiment with different smoking chips too. These were just some Weber chips that we had, but
Okay.
feel free to get birch or pecan or applewood or anything that strikes your fancy.
Mhm.
Yeah, they do beautiful. Love a smoked Manhattan. love a smoked old fashioned. All of that is
So
amazing.
you can apply that technique to just about anything then. Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, and our 7 syrup makes a really delicious smoked old fashioned.
Okay.
And you can use your lesser bourbon for that. You don't have to use your highest quality bourbon that you have on your bill.
Nice, nice. I wanted to ask, but it's complicated language of what rim you would suggest that complements your seven.
A rim.
Yeah.
Look at Amy.
Oh, we have puppets.
That's not the
Wow.
Sesame Street I saw.
These drinks are amazing.
It's not. If you look carefully at the spelling, you're watching Sesame Street. So the fun story, when we were down in Louisville, Daniel and I got married over the summer, which is how all these folks got to meet each other, because Amy is my cousin. John and Tracy are really good friends of Daniel's and now good friends of all of ours. Aaron and Sherry are, Aaron is Daniel's cousin and Sherry by marriage. And Megan, Megan and I have been friends since college, so we get together. Aaron and Sherry, as our wedding gift, got us Muppets from the day of our wedding. And they gave them to us while we were down in Louisville. It was the best surprise ever. And they had Muppets made for both Aaron and Sherry. And the rule with the Muppet Maker is that one person gets great hair that's appropriate, that looks like theirs, and the other person gets shit hair that looks nothing like theirs, that's super fucking offensive. Like Sherry's hair. And my hair looks like somebody's pubes, like shaved off and
I
glued
actually
on
think
top.
I think it's actually realistic for me, because when I first thing in the morning and I see the girls and I haven't brushed my hair, they're like, "Oh, you look like the Muppet." I'm like, "That's your way of saying I look good."
Yeah.
That is amazing.
No, it's
well
so
done,
fun.
Aaron.
It's so fun.
Yes, very good, very good.
Nice job, Aaron. Nice
Yes, so
job.
if you know us long
Like
enough,
Jim
you
Henson.
too will get puppeted.
Look, those are squad goals right there. Okay.
Yes,
It is. Like Aaron never knew that I always wanted one until we got you one for your wedding.
That's so good.
And then
Okay.
So do we have one more? One more?
No, that's it. That was the third one. But we do want to talk
Oh,
about
great.
for a second. So Brent was saying that it has to be 100% agave, and we, nobody wants bad tequila. It is our second love. Bourbon is our first love. Tequila is our second love. So I love going to the liquor store and picking up good bottles and bringing them back. When I was in Mexico with my daughter, we went to a little taberna there where they distilled tequila, and it was amazing. We had the best time, and it has such terroir for the region in Jalisco. So I highly recommend going and getting bottles and bringing them home and tasting them. We love everything about that. And Aaron and Brent did say you gave him the ages, right? So the Blanco, and most we have a good friend who sold G4 for a long time, and we love G4 tequila. We love G4 tequila. And she said that in Mexico, like the distillers and they drink the Blanco because that is the purest form of the distillate. That's where you get the best flavor profile of how they're distilling tequila. And then really the aged tequilas were for Americans. That's why they started aging tequila. So because everybody like brown spirits in the US. But even their añejo is only 18 months in a barrel. So their extra añejo is up to 2 years. Is that right, Brent? 24?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
The one thing is they have a totally different philosophy on barrel aging. Like with bourbon, it's new American oak. So you get all of that extracted vanilla, toffee, caramel, all the color that comes out. They reuse their barrel. So they get used bourbon barrels and they age their añejo in it. And then they age their reposado. Then they take those barrels and they age their añejo for even longer. And then their extra añejo is it's the same barrel that they've aged everything else in, but it's so it's kind of like using a tea bag where, you know, your first glass is delicious. The second glass is kind of insipid. And then the third glass is like, I don't even know that I'm drinking tea, but there's something different to it. So it's totally different theory in barrel aging than barrel aging bourbon.
Yes, all of that. And the go ahead.
What's the G4? That's the name of the distiller?
Yeah, it's the I don't know that I
It's a brand. So the distiller has
let me
several
look.
different.
I don't think I do. I think I drank all of it. It's so good.
I know. I did as well. So G4 is.
You find it in the States?
Yes, you can find it. It's definitely in Illinois. It's in Kentucky. I think it's in Kentucky. I know it's in California. But G4, it's G4 generations because it's a fourth generation distiller. They're a crazy distillery. They literally collect rainwater, and that's what they dilute their tequila with. So talk about terroir. It's literally the water falling from the sky that they dilute their tequila with. It's a beautiful product, and it's a Highlands tequila. So in tequila, you have Highlands and Lowlands tequila. Fortaleza would be an example of a Lowlands tequila. G4 is a Highlands tequila, and they're both delicious. But
They are, and G4 is also the practices of the distillery itself. Like they have gone back to the old ways of how they're mashing the agave, and also how they're like the best practices of the distillery is absolutely so eco-friendly. There are like originally like 5 families really that were the major tequila distillers. And this is one that kind of broke out on his own and is doing his own thing. But man, it's delicious tequila. So we cannot get it in Kentucky. It is available in Illinois. And where are you guys? Where are y'all?
Ohio.
New Hampshire.
Woohoo!
Florida.
Okay.
In New York.
Florida
Amy's in
By
New
the
York.
way, with the sage burning, all evil spirits are cleansed from our house.
That's a true
Like the
story.
smudge stick has happened.
What was your?
Thank
what was
you
your
so
favorite-
much, man.
What was your favorite, John and Tracy? What did you like, John and Trace?
I like the pineapple one.
Yeah, me too, I think.
I love the first
Yeah,
one.
me
I'm
too.
not as much as a smoky drink person, I'm realizing.
I will tell you. I will tell you the smoky drink. I like a smoked old fashioned, but I haven't done it with tequila before, and this is complex.
Yeah.
It's really, really interesting. I really like it. But usually I don't like the tiki kind of drinks, but that was the best one I've ever had.
Yeah,
It was really
Good.
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 It wasn't too
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah.
I agree.
I
Seriously.
appreciate all the complexity. I fell in love with savory cocktails about 3 or 4 years ago after having like a turmeric, what do you call it, cocktail. I've just like fallen in love. And Greg and Daniel at their wedding had that margarita with the basil in it, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
So like having
I didn't think of
these
that.
cocktails that have like, you know, the heat of the pepper, the smokiness, it adds a complexity and almost a savory element that like I really appreciated this evening and will continue. And I feel great right now.
Oh, good. Perfect buzz.
Amy, what about you? Amy, what do you like?
I loved all of the things that we made tonight. I think like the first one was the most sort of familiar, but that syrup gave it a really extra special, like just flavor and really interesting. I really loved, as a whole, I really loved the tiki drink because it was just, it hit those spots without being gross and over sweet. It was just really lovely. But this is elegant and fantastic. And I think I'll do the sage coating thing with I love rye. I think it would be really, really nice with the rye. I feel like
Oh,
I'm just
yeah.
gonna like smoke some
That's a
like
great
do the
idea.
smoking thing and just meet a little rye like in there, and I'd be happy.
Amy,
Oh,
that's a
yeah.
great idea with a
You know,
rye.
honestly, Amy, you were saying that you loved gin drinks with basil. If you did a gin with the 3 herb, like a barrel aged gin, a smoked barrel aged gin old fashioned with a 3 herb, I think that you might lose your mind with it. I think it would hit all of the points there. I'd be really interested to see what that tasted like.
We also,
Yeah.
Making Metal happens to make a syrup that is called the strawberry basil solution, which is almost created to go with gin. It has strawberries and basil, surprise. But it also has pink peppercorn and a little bit of vinegar for the tartness in it, and it is delicious. You can just do that, gin and some sparkling wine, prosecco, or what have you. It's amazing.
It also makes a
That's
killer
also
gimlet with a little bit of lime juice. It makes a killer margarita with tequila. Like all of our mixers are designed to go with all of the spirits.
It's too far
So-
in now.
And if you come up with a recipe, please let us know. We'd
Please,
love that.
absolutely.
People are playing with the spirit,
No.
playing with the mixers and find new things.
Awesome. We'll create some for you. We'll make some up for your next webinar here.
I have one.
Get all the way in your mouth. Okay.
We would love it. Also, seriously, put a deli container of those Mondo Trashos in your freezer. I promise you, it's going to be your favorite thing in the world. And when you have a pre-mixed cocktail in your freezer that you don't have to make, you just have to scoop. It's a game changer.
That's a great idea.
Which one was it again?
All right. Any questions for us about anything we've done tonight?
I think you mentioned that the Mondo Trasho could be done frozen, right? How do you do that?
So you would do, instead of ounces, you would do cups as the unit of measurement. So it'd be 3/4 of a cup of dark, 3/4 of a cup of coconut rum. And then the measurements, just use cups. And that actually makes a perfect deli container of mix. So
The one thing you want to do is you're going to want to add about a cup of water. You want to add some water to get it to freeze nicely. Whenever you batch a cocktail, you can do the parts, but you're going to need to add about an ounce per cocktail of water. If you're like when you shake or stir, that's the amount of ice that melts and adds into your.
Unless you're using the coconut water pineapple, that will freeze.
Yeah. So what do you prefer? Because that was kind of like a happy accident. So
It was.
do you?
Honestly, I loved it. Like it just depends on. Go ahead.
Can I ask you a question? So when we shook it with the ice, it had a nice head to it. Is that because of the coconut?
No, it's because of the
So you
pineapple.
can't. It says the pineapple. Okay.
That
Okay.
pineapple froths beautifully. And if it had just been 100% pineapple juice, it would have had a bigger head than that on it. So it just becomes a little sweeter at that point, So if you like your cocktails less sweet, I think that the coconut water is a really great solution.
It's a great ad. You can do so much with that.
Yeah, total happy accident. Love that happened. I mean,
love it.
y'all, it was scorched earth for pineapple juice in Louisville. Like shelves were completely empty. I'm literally standing in the juice aisle at Kroger, just like doing a 360. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what to do right now. And then these little Dole guys just waved at me from the shelf, and I was like, "Oh, done and done. Let's see what happens."
I know this is a special circumstance for us, but are you offering any like cocktail classes? Okay, and those are
Absolutely.
available through your website?
Yes, and we do. We love corporate folks too. We do a lot of corporate cocktail classes with private organizations that want to do team building things. We do mocktails and cocktails. We do birthday parties. You do like if you want to just get we've done a lot of family things when family is spread out throughout the country. We send boxes of things to people, and then we do private classes with them. But yeah, typically our class fees are $150 flat fee for classes, no matter how many people you have. And then the kits start at $35, and that's shipped to your door. And that's typically just 3 4-ounce mixers of our mixers, 3 of these shipped to your door. But we can do whatever you want. If you want the alcohol included, if you want, the juices or whatever else you want, that can all be included too.
That's awesome. That's great.
This is fantastic. I can think of so many situations where I'll be reaching out to you guys to do these because it's so much fun. You learn new things, and
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's
The
wonderful.
email chain, Aaron, you better include us all in there because we're gonna want to.
Yes, ma'am.
No,
Maybe we all need to do it in person.
Or we
travel.
make a whole weekend. Yes, and here's the other thing: we make a whole weekend of it. Brand extension, guys, make and muscle a cocktail workout class.
He's cut off.
He's cut off. He switched
I
back to
don't, what's he
life.
been drinking over there?
Listen.
Creativity.
Listen, the next trip has got to be the Whiskey Tax Rebellion Trail.
I love
where it's the Whiskey Rebellion Trail through Pennsylvania, like New Hampshire. That's what I'm thinking. Craft distilleries up there.
Yeah.
Aaron, you're gonna love this. My niece gave it to us for Christmas.
Hold on.
That
want
is
some.
amazing.
You know what'd be good on that is some 7 syrup.
Hey, Tracy. Tracy, I think that's fantastic. Can I tell you a funny story?
Yes.
And at our office, I rent space to a criminal defense attorney. He has a client who he has gotten off, which is not great because she should be in prison, but for a DUI on 3 different occasions. After her last exoneration, it arrived at our office, packed in dry ice, 4 or 5 pints of that boozy ice cream.
Oh my God.
So you know what I
Does she
did
own
though
the
last
company?
weekend? I made French toast with it. Melted it.
Yeah.
You shut up right now.
Yeah.
Tell me more.
We had apple bread. Oh my
Apple
God.
cinnamon
Oh
bread
my
is awesome.
God. Okay, look, that
Is-
7 syrup makes the most killer whipped cream you've ever had. So you take heavy whipping cream, add that 7 syrup to it, whip it or put it in your canister. That on that ice cream or on that French that'd be it.
You see Tracy?
Wow. Hey,
So that's what. If you're looking for ideas, check out our website. We have tons of recipes there. You can always shoot an email to makemuddle@gmail.com, and that's Jennifer and I share that account, and we love responding with recipe ideas, or if you have questions about spirits. We have some regulars that will text them. I'm in the liquor store and I don't know which of these whatever bourbons to get.
Or tequilas
So
or
you have
rums.
access to
Or I'm having a party and I need a batch cocktail. What do you
Yeah,
recommend?
exactly.
This is what's in my bar. We love those questions. So holler at us if you have any of that.
absolutely.
Y'all are the best
Absolutely.
group ever. Oh my God. Greg,
Greg?
somebody give him a glass of water and take him outside and walk him around a minute. Bless his heart.
So I have a non-bourbon
Did he get to him? What happened? He is.
I think the tequila he turned into like a frozen.
This is what happens when you leave the frozen north and you come to Florida. You have to thaw out.
Yeah.
That's a true story.
He
That is a
didn't have
true
enough
story.
time.
I was
Yeah.
in Houston last weekend with some friends and we hit eject. And I'm telling you that on Monday when I got on a plane, I texted Brent and I'm like, I need to stop shaking before I get onto the airplane. Like we hit eject. This is my first drink I've had since Sunday. It has been a long recovery. It's what happens when you go to the South. Y'all tear us up.
So I have a non-bourbon.
This is amazing.
Who's watching Ozarks this weekend?
Oh, we're behind. No spoilers. We're behind. We're behind.
Yeah.
We haven't started.
No,
I have
don't
enough
say anything.
anxiety in my
We're
life.
behind.
I don't need to watch it. And
Oh,
Right,
man, I gotta watch that.
That's good.
I don't know if
So
you can
Brett-
hear Blaze, but she's sitting here going, Tracy, Tracy.
You are too cute.
Well,
She
you
is
guys have
so
been
cute.
amazing. Thank you so
She is
much.
precious.
Please let us know if we can do anything at all for you. We appreciate you all and hope that we get to see you again in Louisville sooner rather than later. So I will send this. I will upload
Absolutely.
this to an unlisted YouTube, and then I'll send it to you guys, and it'll be your little private cocktail class that you had. So if you have any questions,
Great.
Go
Are
ahead.
you also able to send us the recipes in the email
Oh my
as
God,
opposed
of
to just the
course.
chat?
Yeah, all of that will come in the email.
Oh,
Yes.
Awesome.
thank you.
Awesome.
Jennifer,
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll definitely be seeing you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers to you.
Thank you, guys.
You all have a good one. Take
Cheers.
care.
Cheers.
Love y'all.
We'll
Bye.
talk
Love
soon.
you guys.
All right.
Love
Bye-bye.
you too.
Thanks, you guys.
Bye.